Good evening, Abhijit. Thank you for joining in today's mock interview.
Good evening.
Hi, Abhijit. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, I can.
Great. So, Abhijit, you have applied for a position for web developer. I would like to know something about yourself.
Uh, Hello, sir. Myself, Abhijit Dhawan. I have completed my BE from NGM College of Engineering, Nanded, which is under Swami Ramanathirt Marathwada University. Uh, I have one elder brother and elder sister. Uh, Brother is working as a goldsmith in Nanded. Uh, my mom is also there, and she is a homemaker. Before I completed engineering before 3 years. After that, I worked in telecom field. Uh, as a, in starting phase of pandemic, I lost my job. After that, I decided to switch my field from telecom to software.
Okay. Thank you, Abhijit. Since you mentioned that you are right now switching your job from telecom to the software field, since why did you take such a decision for yourself?
Uh, as earlier said, I worked in telecom field near about 3 years, but growth rate in telecom is very low as compared to software field. That's why I'm trying to switch from telecom to software.
So, don't you think that there would be other people who would be giving interview as well? Uh, they will have an upper edge than you, means they will be at a better position than you, since you have already used 3 years of your career in the telecom domain and you are starting everything from scratch. So don't you think that why should I hire you and I should not hire the others?
I think age is a no bar for right candidate. Uh, if I have knowledge of certain things, then uh, anyone can hire me. If I don't have any knowledge, then it's slightly difficult for me also.
Right. Very well said. And also, I would like to know that why have you chosen web development over other technologies? There are so many back-end technologies as well. Why did you choose web development?
Uh, as earlier said, I'm starting in software as a web developer because I feel web developing is something easier than backend process, backend developer. But everything is new, and I'm I will also learn backend in next few months or 2 years.
So that means you are planning to switch your profile from web development to a back-end developer?
No, I am trying to learn as much as I can.
Okay. So in future you want to be a full stack developer or something like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So understood. So I would like to know some of your three strengths. If you can highlight, then it will be easier for me to understand what kind of personality you have.
I for everything. I to handle a team. Working in team is easier for me. I think
Working in a team is easier for you. So this is not something a positive. Means I want three strengths. How this can be a strength of yours? Means
no,
working in a
no.
team.
I have a leadership quality.
You have a leadership quality in your team. Okay.
I work in telecom field as a project manager. So I work uh, as a project manager. I have to work with my team. I have to complete. I have to give some work and complete it in periodic time. And if I am able to do it, then it's a. I think it's a good quality.
Okay, since you mentioned that you had been working as a project manager, right now in the IT industry, when you will enter, you won't be a project manager. So you will
Yeah.
be at a subordinate level. So is it going to affect your performance anyhow that you are once again starting from a subordinate level with the other members?
No, sir, not at all. Because when I entered uh, in AV field, then no one give me a higher A class job or uh, some designation, uh, some proper designation at a class level designation. I know I have to work at the starting point, and I'm familiar with that.
Okay, fine. So right now we are going to go into the technicalities of yours, and we'll check that how strong you have built yourself during means in your technicals. So I would like to start with some questions based on HTML, and Amol would follow up with few more questions related to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. So first, I would like to know that what is HTML?
HTML. HTML is a hypertext markup language. It is used for web to design web page or HTML pages.
And which version of HTML did you use?
HTML5.
What is the difference between HTML5 and the other versions of HTML?
HTML4 and is a little bit slow version. HTML5 is a faster one. HTML5 have a storage capability uh, that is local storage up to 5 MB.
Okay. So when you are writing an HTML code, we start the line as doc type HTML. So what is the meaning of this doc type?
It is document type HTML.
Means what does it signify? Means what is that document type? So doc type is a abbreviation that we use for document type. So what is the meaning of this document type? Okay, no issues.
Yeah.
Uh,
Deep, I would like to ask one question to Abhijit. Abhijit, suppose if we, as Deep mentioned, there is one tag like doc type. If we have not add that line into the HTML file, then what will happen?
Browser don't know about what we are mentioning. We are doing. Yeah, when we mention doc type HTML, then browser knows that we're writing in HTML language.
Miss, you mean to say if we didn't write that line, then that HTML file will not run?
Now, latest version in browser, they already knows about everything. They will learn.
Suppose let's say if I write one HTML5 code, and if I forget to write that doc type HTML line at first line, so and if I run that HTML5 code, will that be run on every browser on every device?
No, that not run on every browser. That will run on Google Chrome. They have latest version. Uh, they will give output.
Okay, and what will be the reason of miswriting that line?
Chrome or any browser. they knows. Then we write doc type HTML. Then they knows the code using HTML format.
Okay, Deep, you can continue with your questions.
Okay, sure. So I would like to know, what do you mean by attributes in HTML?
Attribute, we use attribute for uh,
Okay, no problem. Do you know what are tags in HTML? What is the meaning of tag? What does it do?
tag.
Tag. Yeah. Have you used tag in HTML? No,
No,
anchor tag. You don't. You haven't
anchor
used
tag.
anchor.
Oh, tag. I tag. That's okay. Tag is used anchor tag or tag is used to attach anything with our HTML file.
Okay. So this is a specific question. Okay. So which HTML tag is used to display data in a tabular format?
Tabular
What are the
format.
HTML tags that we use to display the data in tabular format?
Um,
Have you used table tag, table,
yes,
edit,
table.
tr, td,
Yes,
right?
table.
So
Table tag is used.
these are some of the tags that basically helps to display the data in the tabular form. Okay. So it is. So these are some simple questions that I was basically asking, because these questions are very much important when you are applying for a position of a web developer. Okay. So I guess you might be aware of the concept of lists while
List,
designing a
yes.
web page. Do you know what are lists? Right. So
Order
what are the
list,
different types of lists that we have?
order
Right.
list and
So how
unordered
many
list.
types of lists we have?
Two types: unordered list and order list.
Unordered list and ordered list. Okay, there is actually another type of list as well, which is called as definition list. We'll get to that, no problem. Right. Amol, do you want to ask any questions related to CSS?
Yes. So, Abhijit, do you know pseudo selector in CSS?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you please describe about pseudo selector and also with one example?
Pseudo selector we use after before pseudo selector for anything related, any content related to the after. We have to some design or some design we need to mention or design it after or before any element.
Yeah. Are you done with your answer? Okay.
Do you
So,
want to elaborate, Abhijit?
Sir, done.
yeah, suppose there is one button, and if I say apply few pseudo selectors to that button, so what will miss what means which pseudo selectors will you use?
Sir, can you repeat this question? I can't hear you.
Yeah, suppose there is one button, and if I said apply pseudo selector to that button, so in this case, which or uh, which different kind of pseudo selectors do you use for button?
For, in if you want to use some array like symbol or anything related to that, we can use a pseudo selection.
Yeah, suppose if I want to change that means cursor pointer when we h over to the button, then which pseudo selector will we use?
Over then over and then we give CSS to that cursor pointer, then it can implemented.
Okay. Do you know different kind of elements in CSS?
Inline elements, block.
Yeah, can you tell me the difference between inline and block table element?
A block line element started with a line, and the inline element use same line or not started with new line. Block line element use full width, uh, and inline element use width which is necessary for that.
Okay,
That necessary for that.
you said like block level element will use full width. Full width of what? Full width.
Full width of parent, full width of his parent.
Okay, while explaining this concept, you have to be specific. Is full width of parent. Okay, Deep, you can go ahead with another questions.
Okay. Suppose, as you mentioned, as you were asking some questions related to button. So I would like to create a button which has got some rounded edges. So what will be the property of CSS that we would be using to ensure that I get some rounded edges of that button?
Border round, border
Border,
circle is used
no,
with
border. It's border radius. Okay, no problem.
border radius.
Yeah. Okay. Let's ask some questions related to JavaScript as well. So I would like to know that what is JavaScript?
JavaScript is a programming language. It is used for enhanced HTML web page design.
So as you mentioned that it's a programming language. So it's what type of programming language? Is
It
it
is
object oriented?
no, it is a client to server. Java Java is an object oriented language, and JavaScript is a client specific language.
What do you mean by object oriented? Do you know object oriented?
Mm,
Okay, no problem. So I guess you have worked with variables as well with JavaScript in JavaScript. So I would like to know that what are undeclared variables in JavaScript?
undeclared. When we use any variable without declaration prior, then it's said undeclared variable.
And how is it different from undefined variables?
Undefined variable is declared, but not a specific value is mentioned uh, assigned to that.
Okay. And what do you know about global variables?
Global variable we can use any time in the entire code. Uh, it's called as global variable.
So anytime in the entire code you mentioned. Okay. So so how is it different from local variables then?
Local variable we use in specific function or something statement where only we use local statement, local variable. But global variable we use in our code list where whenever we require.
Okay.
When we declare at one time we have to declare and then we can use it.
What are different types of means what are different data types in JavaScript?
There are two type of data types, primitive data type and non-primitive data. In primitive data types is basically predefined or basic data type. In there we use the uh, boolean string, etc. And non-primitive data type we use array, function.
Okay. Which keyword do we use to check the data type in JavaScript?
Type of.
Type of, okay. Suppose there is one variable called add, and I have assigned one value to that, like 10, and that value in double quote. And if I check the data type of that variable, what will be the output?
That is string.
But I have given there only 10, number as 10. It is in double quote, but the number means only one number is there. Means only number is there. So string is not there. So how it means it is string? Is it string or number?
When we use a double quote, then it data type shows a string.
Okay. So is it possible to submit a form using JavaScript?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you please write down a code for that?
Hmm.
You can write it down and send us over chat. Is it possible to you to write it down?
No, sir.
Okay, you can tell it orally.
No, I can't tell right now. I I can't remember.
Okay. Uh, Suppose if I want to give a font to any of the text which is in paragraph, so which property do we use in CSS?
Font size. If you want to change font size, and then change the number and
No,
20
no,
pixel or
I'm asking font. I want to apply font, not the font size.
okay.
Which property is there for applying the font?
We use font awesome for that.
What is font awesome? Do you heard anything like font family?
Yes, sir.
And what is font awesome?
Font awesome is used for any symbol, sir, and font family used for change.
Font awesome is a property, CSS property.
Uh, Font awesome is a uh, external link we use for addition. Use symbol any symbol in our HTML pages.
Okay. Suppose if we want to do any calculations related to the width or height in CSS, suppose let's say one addition or multiplication, which function we will use in CSS?
Calc, CALC, calc
Suppose if I write,
use.
okay. suppose if I write there directly like width colon 10 plus 20, will that work without calci function?
No, will not work.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Have you tried that?
No, sir. I have not tried that, but
Then
it,
then how you are sure about that?
uh, when I not use calci function, then it gives error. That's why I'm saying that
Okay.
calci using is important.
Okay. Deep, I'm done from my side. If you have any question, then you can ask.
No, actually, I'm also done from my side. Uh,
Okay.
Abhijit, as you can understand, that there are many areas of improvement. Okay, so we will be discussing the entire interview once again. Okay, with
Yes.
you one to one, so that you can overcome the mistakes that you have done today from your future interviews. Okay, and since this is your first interview, so it's absolutely fine. No worries on that. But we need to improve with every passing interview. Okay.
Yes.
So having said
Definitely.
that, thank you Abhijit for joining in. Thank you Amol as well. And we will be sharing the details of our feedback session very soon. And we will be discussing everything elaborately over there. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for my interview. I'm waiting for your feedback.
Thank you Abhijit. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Good day.